Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, come on, you know how this goes. Good afternoon. This should be the hottest set of talks there are because we have the hottest set of people in here, and that's our young people. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. My name is Kaya Henderson, and I have the pleasure of leading the Center for Rising Generations at the Aspen Institute. And our job is to make leadership development a predictable part of growing up for young people, 14 to 24, all over this country and all over the world. And I get to do it with these amazing young people and the amazing grown-ups that help them out. And today, before you meet our young people, I get to be in conversation with this dude who I actually think is amazing. And I'm going to introduce you to him by telling you that Jason Reynolds, I'll tell you what he does not do. Jason Reynolds does not write boring books. Jason Reynolds is a New York Times best-selling and multiple award-winning young adult author. And I am super inspired by him, and I can't wait to allow him to share his brilliance with you all today. So can we just get right to it?
Let's get to it.
Okay. So you write for young people. Why is that?
You know, I get this question all the time. First of all, what's happening? Everybody good? It's good to see this section of the room. You know what it is it used to be, I would always say is, I don't know, like, who else is there to write for, right? It's like, yeah, you write, why you write for kids, who, as opposed to who, right? It's like, well, why wouldn't you write for adults? And I always tell people, like, as an adult, somebody who is all the way grown, I can tell you that our lives just ain't really that interesting, right? So partially, some of the work that I'm doing selfishly, right? As I want to enjoy the work that I'm doing, and part of me enjoying it is being excited about exploring what it was to be 17, 16, 15 years old, and kind of reworking sort of through my own life and what it was like for me to uncover parts of myself that I did not know were there. They get to experience first. They get to be in Aspen for the first time, some of them, right? They get to see what that might be like, right? And on somebody else's dime, all right? Right? They get to know what it is to learn to drive and to have their loves and their first heartbreaks and school and graduation and parental stuff, friendship stuff, all the things that at 40 just kind of levels out, right? I mean, there are like these moments where you get a little hiccup, but we know what those hiccups are, and after a while, you can't really write that more than 2 or 3 times. And so I'd rather just stay in this space. And then the last thing I'll say about it is because it allows my life to feel purposeful. At the end of the day, there's something about knowing that you're pouring into whoever's coming next. The truth is that where I'm from, I would have never known that I could have even be a writer. That would have been an opportunity for me. It's not like I met any writers growing up. That's not the way my neighborhood was set up. And so perhaps there's somebody here who might say, like, yo, this dude wrote the books that I grew up on, and I had no idea that, like, we could even do this thing. And then I met him, and he was just like me. He talked like me, and he walked like me, and he dressed like me, and his mama was like my mama, and we had all these similarities. And so now I know I might be able to tell my story too. Imagine that, you know?
Thank you for that. For people who don't know you, I don't know who you are in the room, but I assume some of you are here. Tell people a little bit about some of the books that you write.
Yeah, so I think we had number 25, something like that. And, you know, I write for all kids. I write to Black kids, right? These books are for every child, but I write to the child I was, right? The kids in my neighborhood. Because oftentimes those are the children whose stories are often controlled by people outside of themselves and or represented unfairly and disrespectfully. Everybody think they know us and don't nobody know us. No one's taking the time to get to know us, right? And so these stories are meant to sort of honor what it means to be that kind of young person growing up in the world, the normalcy of that life, right? The mundanity of a Black child, right? Go to school, that we're not aliens or animals. These are regular human beings trying to figure out how to navigate the world around us. So there's books about that range from topics, you know. My first novel back in the day was When I Was the Greatest, about a kid with Tourette syndrome, kids in the neighborhood dealing with mental health, and how where I grew up, if you were a young person dealing with any sort of mental illness, we protected you, right? The narrative says that we ostracize you. But if you come from a neighborhood, like if you grow up in an environment like I did, like a lot of us do, especially in urban environments, and we know that's Lenny. Lenny is schizophrenic, but Lenny one of ours. And we're going to make sure that Lenny knows that he one of ours. Now, if you're a new neighbor, we need to let you know, don't call the cops on Lenny. He not harmful. He one of ours, right? And so I wrote a book about that. Wrote a book about what it is to lose people at a young age, because I experienced that. And oftentimes adults don't know what to tell young people who experience death early. Wrote about going down south in the summertime like a lot of black kids do. And got to figure out how to navigate a completely different environment outside of your own. Wrote about gun violence because I was unfortunately around a lot of that as a young person, and how do we navigate those? Police violence, how do we navigate that? Being a middle schooler on a track team, I'm also the creator, the second writer, and the person who made what all of you know as Miles Morales. You know, I wrote that, right? And
You can clap for that.
yeah. And so, you know, it's just me honoring young people of this country and around the world, saying I love you and I see you and I know you got a whole lot to offer. So let me put it here first so that I can convince the old heads what you finna do. Mm-hmm. You know?
We had a conversation about why we are both hopeful in this particular moment. When everybody else feels like the world is on fire, we both share a hope because we work with young people. Talk a little bit about that.
If you feel hopeless, it's because you're not around them enough. If you feel hopeless, you know, you're not putting in that time. You know, it's a real thing. Because what'll happen, look, and this is listen, if you're around young people, if you really are putting in energy to like get to know them, listen to what they have to say, you know, offer them the discipline that they're actually craving, right? Offer them that, right? Some structure, right? And some advice, but also know how to take advice when they offer it to you. If you offer them humility, intimacy, and gratitude, what you will learn is that we actually are gonna be okay, right? A young lady just came up to me and said she got a whole business with her mama. They doing cosmetics and mental health right out of the house. What y'all worried about, right? You don't know that's happening because you're not putting in enough energy to find out. But I know, right? And I want to know more. And I think that's the thing that kind of keeps me. Look, it cannot be overstated that to keep yourself young, you got to be around the young. It does not mean that there's something wrong with getting older. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm very proud to get older as well, but I want to always be childlike. I'm too old to be childish, but never too old to be childlike. Because it's in there, that's where the light is. That's where the hope is, you know? And we're fortunate to get to have a front row seat to it.
So these are young people who are leading. At the Center for Rising Generations, we say, shaping tomorrow, starting today. We're not preparing them to lead 20 years from now. We are supporting their leadership right now. As we wrap up our 10 minutes, who scheduled this? We could be here for an hour. As we wrap up our 10 minutes together, what advice do you have for these young people who are leading today?
You know, when I was a kid, and I'm sure most of you have experienced this, everybody, since you're like in the first grade, everybody's like, what you want to be? Like, what you want to be when you get older, you know? It's like the strangest cliche, right? We all sort of dump that on young people. What you want to be when you grow up, right? And the question is what you want to be now, right? And so my advice to you is get your habits in order. And this is just me being very practical with you. If you want to be great, you have to know that excellence is a habit. You don't get to turn it on and off, right? It's a habit. Every day of your life is a day for you to perform excellence. Doesn't mean that you have to be the best. It means you need to sort of put forth your best in every single situation in your life. I do my best to be the best son, the best friend, the best writer, an advocate for you, the best person to myself, so I can be kind to myself, right? Excellence is a thing that's got to kind of live in your body. When I was a kid, my mother made me, every day before going to bed, my mother forced me to say I could do anything. 2 years old, 3 years old, and I'm hungry, tired, and sick, and my mother is like, yeah, ain't gonna be nothing. You got to say this before you get into bed. It would stop me from climbing in the bed until I said it loud enough for her to hear it across the room. Right, the affirmation, I can do anything. By the time I was 14 years old, 15 years old, no one could tell me otherwise. was on the cover of the Washington Post doing all the things that would eventually lead me to the life I live today. At 13, 14, 15 years old, I don't know no other way. I can do anything I want to do because I understand the habit of excellence. We have bad habits. We also can have good habits. You can't tell me that you want to be this, and this if you can't get your homework done.
Say that one more time for the people in the back. I just think there are some people in the back who didn't hear it.
It's a small thing. You can't tell me that you have all these big, grand dreams of all the things you're going to do with your life, how you're going to affect change, how you're going to sort of make the world a better place, how you're going to make enough money to get your family out the jam, how you write all the things that we talk about. But then I ask you if you completed the assignment, a 15-minute assignment, and you're like, man, we can't do that. Habits, right? Yes, there are reasons sometimes, but there are never any excuses, okay? And you have to feel that way about the way you lead your life if you want to be great, which apparently you do.
Let me see. They gave us a little more time, so I feel like I can ask one more question. In fact, can I have one question from a young person, please? Because that's who we're here for. Does anybody have a question for Jason?
Don't come up to me after this. I'm telling y'all now.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, so, you said that since you're young.
We have a mic coming.
Thank you.
And introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Parsmi, and I'm one of the Bezos scholars. I'm from Orange County, California. So, you said since you were young, you were always taught to tell yourself, I can do anything. But despite how strong our mentality is or how much hope we have, sometimes there are always moments where there is uncertainty or there are moments of doubt. So throughout your experiences and your journey in your life, when you have faced those moments of doubt and you weren't exactly sure if things were going to work out or how they were going to go, how did you remind yourself that you truly can do anything and that you do believe in yourself and that things will work out in the end?
So this is a good question, and the answer is probably going to be one that a lot of y'all don't really want to hear, but it's true. Find you an old head. This is the age where there's a strange sort of chasm in the generational gap, where it feels like everything that people my age say to you, it's like nails on a chalkboard, right? It's like they don't understand me. They don't understand me. Here's what I will suggest to you as we run out of time. When it gets dark, there are two things you're gonna need: a really good friend, like somebody who you can cry in front of, somebody who you can tell you're afraid, that you feel low, somebody who's gonna pour into you when you have nothing left to pour into yourself, and somebody old. And the reason why, and that could be your grandmama, that could be the lady down the block, right? That could be the lady who do your hair, don't matter. And the reason why is because if you were to ask them to tell you a story about what it was like when they were your age, I promise you'll feel a little better after it's over. You'll realize you got way more in you than you think. All right? All right.
Yes. Y'all, join me in thanking my friend Jason Reynolds for his amazing words of wisdom. And I'm going to invite my colleague Katie Fitzgerald to come up and introduce us through the next part.
Another round of applause for the magnificent Kaya and the magnificent Jason. Thank you so much to the two of you. Could not have thought of a better way to start this session, start the space that we're creating right now, which some of you know me, some of you don't, but this is the most important space at the Aspen Ideas Festival, in my humble opinion. So first of all, I'm Katie Fitzgerald. I'm the managing director of the Aspen Challenge, and to quote Jason, I do feel like my life is purposeful because I have the honor of being with the incredible young people and meeting the leaders of today, the leaders right now. And this is my job. This is what I do for love. This is what I do for life. I also have my daughter, Lily Fitzgerald, in the room. I'm a single mother, and I could not be more proud of my daughters. My other one is live streaming. Hi, Maggie. But my life is purposeful because I get to be among the greats of today. So there is no of tomorrow. This is of today, and this is the here and now. So thank you all for being here. I also feel my life is purposeful because of my incredible Aspen Challenge team. So I would like to introduce, there's 5 of us. We're small and mighty, but we are incredible. We're a team of incredible women. Just want to throw that out there. Ari, Olivia, I see you over there. Stand up. Kara. I don't know where Kara went. Brett right there. It takes a village. We may seem like a small village, but we're very, very, very powerful. So for those of you that don't know, the Aspen Challenge is a program that challenges teams of high school students to create change around societal issues that they face in their community. First and foremost, we go into communities. We partner with Boston and San Diego, that's here today, and talk to young people. So our first job is to listen. I think our job every day in life is to listen. But very, very first and foremost, before we embark on any of our projects and programs with any partner communities, we listen to young people. And if we didn't, I think our program would be dead in the water. So what you're gonna see today is a direct result of young people in Boston and San Diego telling us what they wanna be talking about, what they wanna be solving for, what prohibits them from being their best selves in their community. And that is what you're gonna hear from. It's very powerful, it's very big, and if you think they're gonna shy away from the hard stuff, you are very, very, very wrong, because you're gonna hear about some very sensitive topics today. And our young people wanna be talking about them, right guys? Yes, absolutely. So I like to say there's gonna be 20 mini revolutions led in each city each year by young people in a positive way, a revolution for change in a positive way that's gonna make life better, not only for youth in their school, in their neighborhood, in their community, but for the greater community. This is about creating the good society, and this is about listening to our young people and watching them act and watching them innovate creative solutions on how to do that. So that is what the Aspen Challenge does. That's why we're here today, and who you're gonna hear from are the winning team. So this actually is a competition, and we don't judge on, who's prettiest and who came from the best neighborhood. We judge on who really took on the hard topic and who is gonna impact their community for life. So this is not the end of any of these projects by far. This is the beginning. So what you've witnessed, or what you're gonna witness and hear about, is the beginning of work that these kids have done in their community. So it's really, truly incredible. And then being part of the Aspen Institute and now the Aspen Center for Rising Generations, led by Kaya Henderson, we are about leadership. We are about leadership development, cultivation, sorry about that. But what we talk about in the Aspen Challenge is the question on the table is not, are you a leader? Because the answer to that is yes. The question is, how are you gonna lead? How are you going to choose to lead? That's it. That's the question on the table. And we asked, and they answered, and you're gonna hear from that. So I have to take notes so I don't forget anything. Last thing. Okay, so what I need to do is first acknowledge that all of the work and what you're going to hear about today with the Aspen Challenge program is led by young people and led by the leaders of today that happen to be in high school. But there are a lot of people that I need to acknowledge and thank from stage here, because without them, it wouldn't be possible. It takes a lot of work and a lot of preparation and, quite frankly, a lot of paperwork to get in front of our incredible young people in our public schools and our large cities. So first and foremost, Jackie and Mike Bezos. Jackie and Mike Bezos co-created the Aspen Challenge with myself. And Natalie Travers, I know that you walked in the room, but we created this program together 13 years ago, sitting around a table with Jackie and Mike Bezos. So this was a co-creation, and they could not be here today, but they obviously send their regards to all of you, and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts, because that is why we are able to be here doing the work and being with our young people in different cities around the country. Next, I would like to thank, and I would also like to ask you to stand, the educators in the room. Not just Aspen Challenge, Bezos Scholars educators, please stand too. So all educators in the room, stand up. Thank you for all you do every single day of your lives. The Aspen Challenge is work in addition to what they are doing every day in their lives in the classroom. So all of these teachers said yes. They said yes to helping their young people do the amazing things that they did. And the secret sauce of every Aspen Challenge team is incredible devoted, and committed teachers. So thank you to all of the teachers in the room, especially Aspen Challenge teachers. We wouldn't be here without you. So thank you. But before we are even allowed to talk to a teacher or talk to a student, we actually work with our large school districts, and we have representatives from both of our key school district partners here. First, I see Erin Richardson right here. Erin Richardson said yes to us 3 years ago at this point. Erin, stand up. Superintendent of high schools for San Diego Unified. Erin has been on a phone call with us and our team every single week for 3 years to make sure that we are doing right by her students and her teachers and her schools, and that she is committed and bought into the program. So thank you, Erin. Thank you for your commitment and everything that you've done for us. Thank you. And from Boston, we have Anne, who I know is sitting over here. Carissa, I don't know where Carissa is sitting. Carissa has also been with us for 3 years. She's been to 2 cities, and she's been with us. Thank you to you both. Ted Lombardi, I don't know if you're watching and listening, but there was really 3 of them also on a phone call with us every single week for the last year trying to get us to this point. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also to all public school district leaders, thank you. Our international partners, we have a whole cadre of international partners in this room that are here to listen to youth from the United States of America. So this is incredible. Thank you all for being here. I can't wait to work with you in all of your countries. Hi, Pablo, I haven't seen you yet. Cannot wait to work with you and grow and scale and do all of this under Kaya's leadership, because we are moving and it is happening now, right? And then the Aspen Ideas Festival, Dan Porterfield, he is still here in the audience. The president and CEO of the Aspen Institute is here in this audience right now. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for this space. Thank you for always welcoming us and inviting us into this space and into this room, but into the Aspen Ideas Festival. We truly are honored to be here and honored to share the wisdom of our youth to the rest of the festival. So thank you, Dan, and everybody else from the Ideas Festival team that's in the room. So what I'd like to do right now, without further ado, is I would like to show you a video. This is a video that summarizes the Aspen Challenge experience, and this was actually the video that we took in Boston over the last year, over the last program cycle. So without further ado, cue the video.
Aspen Challenge Boston. Here are the facts. 17 schools, 140 students, 30 educators, and 9 weeks to create lasting change in their communities. Boston, show us why they call you the City of Champions.
I can start it off. Walking into the Aspen Challenge yesterday was, at first I was excited. Pure excitement. I saw a lot of people and I felt confident in my team because in my head I knew we had the best idea. It was creative. But once it started, I got really nervous.
I feel like walking into the Aspen Challenge yesterday, there was a lot of energy. I feel like overall everyone was just happy to be there. And we all supported each other, so it was like we were at ease.
Yeah, I was nervous, but I came to represent my school. So basically, I just did what I needed to do.
I think the Aspen Challenge is a great way for students to be able to express, to modify, to be creative, and to be open-minded and think outside of the box.
I love how the Aspen Challenge centers students and asks them to solve challenges that are facing the world. Especially right now, we really need ideas, and our students have really great ideas.
I felt very recognized that Aspen wanted to come here to Boston because I know there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of students who want to grow and want to find solutions for any challenge given to us.
It took time, it took commitment, It wasn't something that was just given to us. We had to reach out, spam emails. I was spamming emails every day, waiting for a reply. Sometimes you don't get one, but you know, you just keep on pushing until you get someone that actually wants to work with you and help you out. So it was really possible to do what we wanted to do. It wouldn't just be an idea, but a solution.
The Aspen Challenge isn't just a program. Like, you're helping me solve an actual problem in my community. And not every kid in high school is going to do that.
100%. Honestly, I feel like if it was like all 50 states and then like all the finalists from all the states went against, I feel like that would be amazing. Just like a countrywide opportunity, and having everyone be able to have this opportunity is just really cool.
I feel like with what we've done for our school and for the community, I feel like I could probably go to Harvard.
It's important that the Aspen Challenge create opportunities like this for the students of Boston, because Boston has a rich, diverse history. Some of it amazing, some of it not so great. So especially for our population, where we have underrepresented students, for them to be able to have the opportunity for other people to believe in them, not just believe in them, but invest into them too. It's transformational for them to get to be in these different spaces, for them to get to experience being up on that stage and seeing the difference that they can truly make. That changes their lives. And when they go back to the school, like we said about our school, this is culture changing. This is developing our culture to who we truly are and what we want to be about. And it's being led not by us, the teachers or the staff, it's being led by our students. To me, there's nothing more powerful.
I think young people are so well positioned to really advance the kind of community change that we need. We need our young people. We need our young people to be invested in our district, in our city, in our nation. I can't think of a better group than our young people in Boston to really put their effort, their minds, their creativity, and energy towards solving some of them.
I'm really proud that even though we had stuff going on, sports, a lot of classwork, we still accomplished and we still believed in each other. Like, even though some of us were more down some days, we would still try to uplift each other, and we still made it through, and here we are.
You join the Aspen Challenge, it's gonna be worth your while.
Yeah.
And especially, like, it's very thought-provoking of what you're trying to solve in your community. So it just like displays like next level of intelligence that kids really have.
After we won, the room was screaming. Everybody was screaming. The teachers were carrying us up. We were screaming around the hallways, jumping around, dapping each other up. Everybody's talking about pack your bags, let's go to Aspen. It was really good.
It's an amazing feeling.
Okay, you're going to see some of those faces on the stage today. One more person that deserves a remarkable amount of gratitude and love from you all is my dear friend Natasha Carrizosa. She, otherwise known as Natty, who is going to come to stage, and she's going to lead us through the next portion, the most important portion, and I will shut up and get off the stage, but she's going to launch into presenting our teams to you. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, Natty. Here you go.
Love you too, Katie. Y'all give it up for Katie Fitzgerald! I got a few little Aspen Ideas Festival notes. I want to say thank you all for being present, emceeing and witnessing Aspen Challenge. I consider an honor, a privilege, and I am very grateful for it because I get to watch young people inspire, engage, and lead. Speaking of young people, shout out to the Bezos Scholars. Where you at? You're going to hear some things, see some things, witness some things that may make your heart beat a little faster, may make you a little anxious or nervous, but we want to make sure that you're good, and you're good. Sometimes they call them trigger warnings, right? So if you need a little time, take your time, make sure you're good. You're also going to see some things, witness some things that will make you want to jump out of your seat, scream, holler, clap. We like the snaps. We love encouragement. So I encourage that. And I want to shout out a very special person in the room to me. That is that woman right there, an educator and a dream builder who gave me my first microphone and taught me how to read. She's also my tia, my auntie. Haji, I love you. Thank you for being here. And to Aspen Challenge! San Diego and Boston, y'all know what time it is. It's showtime. Are you ready? Okay, it's showtime. Let me see. We're going to bring up a team. EMK, you are on deck. The team that I'm going to bring up, first team up, is Excel High School. The solution name was Excel Through You, your own uplifting. The challenge was gun violence. Some things about the school that we want to share with you. The school is being closed at the end of the 2025-2026 school year. Some of the students are leaders of a local youth radio station and interviewed Manuel Oliver. One team member was unable to join, Samuel, so we're gonna send him some love and shout him out. But are you ready to hear from your first team? Y'all please give it up for Excel High School!
Well, hello everyone. We are Excel Through You, coming from Excel High School in South Boston, Massachusetts. This is a trigger warning for our following video. The following video may contain harmful or traumatizing to some audiences.
The Red Chair campaign represents all the lives lost due to gun violence. In 2024, 41,000 people have been killed from gun violence alone. This translates to 112 deaths per day, 4.7 deaths per hour, and that equals 1 death for every 12.7 minutes. When is this going to stop?
Nos quitaron tantas cosas, pero no nos calla. With a single chair, we can do so many things unimaginable to you. We painted red and put a sign, so people know that they should rise. No more empty desks, no more shattered youth. No more bullets and futures, no more lives we lose. We don't need your thoughts, we need more than just prayers. We just need to find a change, and this starts with me and you.
Se me para el corazón cuando miro la pistola, como si mis emociones están en una bola. No puedo respirar y se me para el cora. Cuando pienso en las personas que no pueden disfrutar, ya no quedan minutos, ya no quedan más horas para decir adiós. Mientras la bala perfora, la persona no reacciona. No lo puedo describir, no lo puedo explicar, que me queda por decir, ya no se puede ocultar. ¿Para qué mentir? Solo queda decir que ya no da más tiempo, las almas perdidas por el viento. Si quedamos un cambio, porque este sentimiento es terrible, no solo yo lo siento. Únete y hagamos un movimiento.
Thank you, everyone. So we accepted Manuel Oliver's challenge to produce a media campaign that will raise awareness about the gun violence epidemic and will also empower the youth to take action in creating safer schools and communities.
No More Empty Desk is more than just a song, it's a movement. It reflects tragic loss of life due to gun violence. Empty desks and chairs are painful symbols of futures stolen way too soon. You'll see them in classrooms, in train stations, and even homes. Each one is a reminder of what we've lost and what we must change. We created this video to raise awareness and inspire action. Music moves people, it crosses boundaries, it brings communities together. That's why we chose music, to speak to hearts and open minds. The song's lyrics tell stories with raw emotions for anyone willing to listen and learn. It's bilingual in both English and Spanish to reach and unite a diverse community. And with the power of the internet, it's a message that can reach far beyond today. Together we say, no more silence, no more empty desks.
All right, so look, you guys don't know this, but our name has a way bigger meaning to it. Excel, it's the school we all learn and all achieve our goals. Damn, my fault. So, but you, it stands for something bigger. It means your own uprising. It means for you to get up and make a change in your community. Because change starts with you.
And I know, of course, you guys are thinking about it. The Red Chair. The Red Chair program is a program to raise awareness to gun violence to our community and our peers. Our plan with the Red Chair is to branch our program nationwide to communities and to schools.
In the beginning of our website, we included a Meet the Team section, which it recognizes the individuals behind Excel Through You, which is us.
On our website, we've shared local and national news updates on gun violence, keeping our viewers posted on current events. We've also curated a resource page that connects our viewers to service centers, helplines, and safe spaces all across our city. In addition, we've created an events page for anyone in this room who wants to get a hand in our process and aid us on this journey.
Our gallery takes you on a visual journey through our process, capturing the bonds that we build and the growth we share as a community. We also have a contact section where people can submit questions, personal stories, or feedback, helping us stay connected with our community and support those impacted by our cause.
Picture this red chair, empty, silent, waiting for someone who will never come home. In Boston, that chair represents a brother, a son, a daughter, a neighbor, and a friend. Gun violence stole them, stole their voices, stole their future. But listen closely, the numbers are also speaking. From 2020 to 2024, shooting incidents dropped by 23%. That's 23% more chances to live, 23% fewer sirens. Progress, yes, but not enough. Because behind every statistic is a life, and behind every life is a story we'll never get to hear.
Beyond the challenge, our long-term goal is to make a campaign that will leave an impact in different communities, starting in Boston and hopefully branching to other places. We will be doing this by placing red chairs on public transportations and public places such as schools to remind people of the victims of gun violence. Furthermore, our music video and website and social media will always be available as an online resource for people to check whenever they want to. Lastly, we hope to inspire young students and future leaders to take over and make sure our messages last and makes an impact. This red chair isn't just a seat, it's a statement. And with that statement, we will make a change in our community. So we would like to call on students, teachers, community members, essentially everyone in this room, to follow, share, visit our website and social media to make sure we raise awareness and get the support we need. We also encourage you to sign the chair whenever it comes to you and your communities. Create art, music, writing, anything that keeps the conversation alive. And lastly, help us advocate for red chairs on public transportation.
And last but not least, gun violence affects families and communities in every corner of this country. But change starts with us, in our cities, in every state, and every cast we vote. If you're ready to stand up against gun violence, there are real and powerful steps you can take. If you are over 18, 1, vote for leaders who will act. Research where candidates stand on gun laws. Support those who commit who are committed to sensible gun policies that protect our schools, our neighborhood, and our loved ones. 2, support advocacy organizations. Join or donate to groups like Moms Demand Action, Every Town for Gun Safety, and the Glyphord's Law Center. These organizations are leading the change, fighting for common sense gun law reforms and for safer communities every single day. 3, get involved in political campaigns. Whether you're knocking on doors, making calls, or helping out with voter registration, your voice can help elect leaders who put public safety first. 4, speak directly to your lawmakers. Call, write, meet with your state representatives and senators. Tell them why ending gun violence matters to you. Use tools like house.org and usa.org to find their contact information. 5, use the ballot box. If your state allows ballot initiatives, get involved. You can support or oppose measures that impact how firearms are sold, taxed, or regulated. For example, in Colorado, there was a law that was passed, a ballot initiative that added a tax on guns and ammunition to fund violence preventions. And 6, stay informed and stay respectful. Every state is different. Laws, lawmakers, and political systems vary, but one thing stays the same. One thing stays the same. Respectful, informed citizens that can make a real difference. Be clear, be firm, and all of the above, be involved. And we are
Excel through you.
Y'all, please give it up for Excel Through You. Thank you, thank you. Muniz, you are on deck. Edward M. Kennedy Academy for Health Careers is going to be team number 2, AKA EMK. The solution name is Streetlight. The challenge, youth homelessness. The school was founded because community members wanted to create a career pipeline for their neighborhood into health care jobs. Without further ado, y'all please give it up for EMK!
Look at us. 7 students, graduation caps, gowns, the proud families waiting in the stands.
But this is not the whole story.
That cap and gown right there, that's for someone who didn't make it. Not because they weren't smart, not because they didn't try, but because they didn't have a place to sleep last night.
1 in 26 students in Massachusetts experience homelessness. That's nearly 1 in every classroom.
And yet, only 65% of students experiencing homelessness graduate high school, compared to nearly 90% of all Massachusetts students.
We all wore the same backpacks, took the same tests, but some of us were sleeping in shelters, or sleeping on someone's couch, or not sleeping at all.
That gown, it's for the students who dropped out to get a job, to feed their younger siblings, and to survive.
It's for the students who didn't have a right to school, who moved 3 times a semester, who felt invisible.
Graduation should be a guarantee, not a privilege.
But last year in Boston Public Schools, more than 5,000 BPS students, that's 10% of the district, were homeless at some point during the school year. These students faced real barriers in succeeding academically.
In fact, 1 out of 5 homeless students statewide will drop out of high school.
BPS has a wealth of resources for students and their families, but students might be too overwhelmed or embarrassed to come forward and ask for help.
That's why we created Streetlight, a free, anonymous, and automated resource texting line that any student can text at any time. Streetlight provides access to critical resources in an instant so that you're never stuck without a path forward.
We are Streetlight, a team of high school students from Edward M. Kennedy Academy for Health Careers. We envision a future where every young person has a safe, supportive space to turn day or night, ensuring that no student facing homelessness feels alone, unheard, or left in the dark. We are committed to addressing homelessness among high school students and young adults by providing 24/7 access to critical resources.
Dr. Bernie Brooks moved us with her story and challenged us to design a solution that addresses homelessness among high school students and young adults in our community, and emphasizes the importance of stabilizing their access to education and academic performance. Her challenge spoke to us directly. As young people attending a healthcare school, we care deeply about public health issues. Homelessness is a prevalent public health issue that touches all facets of life for young people.
To better understand this problem, we conducted an in-depth interview with Dr. Brooks, as well as our school's family liaison. We also hosted a school-wide panel with the BPS Chief of Students and the Senior Director of BPS Opportunity of Youth, where they shared their expertise with our school. In addition, we surveyed 88 students at our school, where we found out that the majority of students were unaware of the resources available for homeless students.
Based on our research and community-based resources for students experiencing homelessness, it's actually quite robust. However, we identify 3 main barriers in preventing these students from accessing that network. First, resources are housed in many different places, requiring significant research to find them, many of them being online. And we know an effect of homelessness is lack of access to computers and Wi-Fi. And most of all, though, many people, particularly teens in high school, might feel anxious or afraid or too embarrassed to disclose. We knew we wanted to create a solution that maintains student privacy and offered a wide spread of accessibility.
We created Streetlight, a free, anonymous, and fully automated text bot that provides resources and inspiration 24/7. It includes crisis support information, homework help options, and inspirational quotes. Because academic success is so important, our second option notes academic support resources. Our service will even tell you how to get to your nearest library.
Setting up this service was not easy. Streetlight requires the use of 2 cloud communication platforms. We started by purchasing a phone number with SMS capabilities from Twilio. Next, we created terms and conditions, as well as a privacy policy in order to apply for a toll-free verification. After 3 rejections, we were finally approved. We then merged our Twilio number to Textit. Textit is a non-code platform where we built our automated SMS chatbot that responds to preset user input. We text straight to our phone number. You engage with our chatbot to gain access to resources.
We marketed our solution in various ways. Check out this video to see how we did it.
To let our community know about Streetlight, we hit the streets. We placed flyers along sidewalks, bus stops, and inside of our school. We even put them on cars, just to spread the word a little bit faster. If you're a teen and you're experiencing homelessness, don't worry. Just text STREET to 833-574-6385. Just remember, all lines lead to Streetlight, so let us be the light that leads your way.
Attention passengers, the next Orange Line train to Oak Grove is now.
Our solution had a tangible impact. Our initial goal was to engage 100 people. We've surpassed this goal, and to date, we've had over 135 unique users of Streetlight, who overwhelmingly would recommend it to a friend. We've also engaged and solicited feedback from influential stakeholders, which included Mass General Brigham's Chief Legal Officer and Boston Public School Chief of Students. Both individuals tested our service and found the simplicity and accessibility to be innovative and meaningful.
The infrastructure for Streetlight is established and fully functioning. Our solution is tried and tested with real students who would overwhelmingly recommend it to a classmate experiencing homelessness.
Since winning the Aspen Challenge, we have translated our text and service into Spanish and French. Our goal is to translate it into other languages. We want to translate it into Cape Verdean Creole and Vietnamese.
Et puis tout, nous voulons traduire en créole haïtien dans l'avenir.
We also want to expand our options and improve the interface.
Audience, we invite you to text our service to test it out for yourself. For English, text STREET to 833-574-6385.
Para español, marca calle a 833-574-6385.
Pour français, messager rue à 833 574 6385.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Merci.
Y'all give it up for Street Light! Yes, 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 yes. When I say street, you say light. Street, light. Street. Light. Merci. Gracias. You know, I'm sitting over there in the corner next to Mr. Reynolds, who I've never met before, and I'm thinking to myself, did you call me an old head inadvertently? Yeah, I'm an old head. And as an old head, I have some grace. I wanted to sit over there and cry watching the students on stage. I don't know how you feel, but that's only 2 teams. And I was thinking about how grateful I am, even in this space, because we don't all come from the same places. We were not born in the same places, but we are all here together, so give it up for yourselves. Old head. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Let me see. San Diego Met, you are on deck. The next team coming up to the stage is Margarita Mu&ntilde Academy. The solution name was Boss School Safety. The challenge, gun violence. 100% of the team is bilingual. Y'all can clap for that. Clapping is the same in English and Spanish. And some of them only learned English for the first time this past school year. And Lise Mere, wave to the people, Lise Mere, celebrated her 18th birthday earlier this week on the 24th. All right, are you ready for your next team? Y'all please give it up for Margarita Mu&ntilde Academy!
Good afternoon. We are the Boss School Safety from the Margarita Mu&ntilde Academy, which is a proud bilingual school in Boston, Massachusetts. A little bit about Boston is we're really well known for our sports teams like the Celtics, Red Sox, and the Bruins, but we're also known for prestigious universities like Harvard and Northeastern. But what makes Boston so unique is the community, the diversity, and the culture we have. The challenge we chose was by Manuel Oliver, which states, I challenge you to produce a media campaign that will raise awareness on the gun violence epidemic and empower youth around the country to take action in creating safer schools and communities.
We chose this challenge because this is real in our daily lives, as all 8 of us have witnessed and or experienced violence in some form. This is school life to America. This is school life in America to our families, and we even have family in DR that are worried about us because of what they see on the news. We need to talk about this now, not after another tragedy.
During our 8 weeks, we started with our vision, creating a service to get students different points of view on how they feel in our school community. We done large community interviews and our Boston School Security on Instagram, which led us to host our panel for prevention and creating our playbook called Panel for Prevention.
Based on the survey we created for our school, 168 students responded on their general safety resources and gun violence in our community. As you can see, most of our students feel safe at our school but are still worried about gun violence from outsiders. They feel like in our school culture they are able to speak to counselors that not every school provides with our hard times.
Going into depth about our community outreach, which included interviewing our family members, school safety specialists, BPS superintendent, and other amazing mentors and leaders, our first thought after this event was, how can we recognize these efforts and invite more people into the conversation, which then led to
hosting the first banner for prevention at our school on April 4. Our entire school was there, including 50 community members as well. Four of our team host the event and ask our community leaders questions about violence in school, their workspace, and their community.
As you can see, we had a diverse panel of leaders from local police and government. Our students were able to listen from these amazing leaders and ask questions.
The event was amazing, and we didn't spend any money to make it happen. Manuel Oliver, the parent of the victim of the school shooting and the Aspen Challenge presenter, wasn't there. And after, he said, "This was an amazing event. If we were to have a panel like this on 2012, my son will be still here." That is when we had to something special to share with other schools in Boston.
So therefore, that's when we created our Panel for Prevention Playbook. Our Panel for Prevention Playbook is our step-by-step guide to help other schools host their own panels. It includes example emails to send out to panelists and their contact information. We have emailed out our playbook to all 31 high schools in Boston, and we have already heard back from some schools willing to host these panels, and we're waiting to hear back.
Follow us on Instagram, which is Boss School Safety. We highlight community organization leaders, and we also provide help to other schools to host their own panel for prevention.
With everything we managed to do in that time, we were able to create a video that contains the difficult moments that other people, unfortunately, gone through during gun violence. We ask viewers to reach out to their community leader to host their own panel for prevention. Please, pay attention to the next video. Thank you.
A, B, C, D, C, D.
It's over.
How did you get into our school?
Where did he get a gun?
¿Cómo conseguiste un arma?
How could we have helped him?
This your mommy.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
Hi, my name is Feline.
Hi, my name is Chanel.
Hola, yo soy Yereli.
My name is Alanis. This is a situation that can and does happen in real life.
Thank God this didn't really happen. I'm alive.
They could kill my dreams of being a police officer.
¿Y quién me asegura que esto no me pueda pasar en otra escuela?
If this happened to you, how would your life change?
They could have left a mother without her daughter and a brother without a sister.
This video highlights an ongoing nationwide issue involving school shooting. We hosted interviews with our community leaders, educators, and mental health specialists to come up with solutions.
Want to make a difference?
Want to be a change maker?
Here's what you can do to make a change. Contact your community leaders.
Plan demonstrations.
Set up meetings and let your voices be heard.
Let's all do our part to ensure the safety of our youth.
We want all schools to host their own panel for prevention.
Queremos que todas las escuelas organicen un panel para prevención.
Our team created a playbook to help get you started.
Nuestro equipo creó una guía para crear este panel.
Reach out for help.
Por favor, contáctanos.
So what we've been up to since our showcase back in Boston, we have mailed out a hard copy of our playbook in both English and in Spanish to each high school in Boston, and the packets we sent out also include a letter signed by our team. With this all along, we have also got interviewed by Fox 25 News, and our family members and community members have proudly seen all of our hard work on air.
For us, this was very challenging because English is not our first language, but Boston's biggest baseball star, David Ortiz, Big Papi, was very successful, and he barely knew how to speak English when he first came to our city. But this can happen to anyone, no matter what language you speak. So let's help everyone.
We need your help. We want this solution not only in Boston, we want it all around the world. So any help will be amazing. Thank you.
Y'all give it up for Margarita Muñiz Academy. Oh, y'all are such a good audience. And these, I was about to say kids, they are not kids. These young people are serious about their business. Margarita Muñiz, if you see some of these on the table, this is a QR code for the actual playbook. And you'll see a lot of other things on the table. They got the stuff together. Very well done. Madeline, you okay? Yes. You enjoying yourself? I just said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on blast, but I was just watching you, were just like, I love it here. Audience, how are you? What do you think so far? Glad you came? They're something else, aren't they? Okay, let me go ahead and get the show on the road. This next team coming to you comes all the way from San Diego. San Diego Met High School. The solution name is Spill the Tea, honey. No, it's Spill the Tea. The challenge, LGBTQIA+ advocacy and substance use. The school is a CTE model that is physically located on Mesa College's campus. Kaylin, where are you? Wave to the people. Kaylin celebrated her birthday on the 25th. Now, Aspen Ideas Festival. Please put your hands together, and give it up for Med High School.
Be our guest, be our guest, put our service to the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, Sherry, and we provide the rest. Soup du jour, hot or good, why, we only live to serve. Try the gray stuff.
Hello, my name is Cole. I use he, him pronouns, and my favorite tea is a London fog. Let me introduce you to the rest of our team.
Veronica, she, her, mango green tea.
Alex, she, her, chai.
Kaylin, she, her, peach oolong.
Symphony, she, her, Thai tea.
Zoe, any pronouns, strawberry tea.
Dino, he, him, Scottish breakfast tea.
We'd also like to shout out our 2 team members who couldn't be here today. Thank you so much, Reese and Milo. We couldn't have done it without you. Our school is the San Diego Met, a small high school located on a college campus, where students attend both college classes and high school classes, while also participating in internships. We're not your average school. We all choose to be here because we're looking for connection, belonging, or being seen.
We are part of the San Diego Unified School District. We are a public, progressive learning community that centers student passions and interests. As a member of the Big Picture Learning Program, we follow a one-student-at-a-time approach, tailoring education to each individual. We are not a neighborhood school. To be part of the Met, every student chooses to be here, even if it means driving 40 minutes to get to school every day, like I do.
Our school was one of 18 schools asked to participate in the Aspen Challenge, but what does that mean?
The Aspen Challenge is a solution-oriented competition that asks students to address relevant issues within their communities.
Well, tell them.
Yes, Kaylin, we won.
That is why we have been invited to speak to you all today. There were 5 challenges presented to us, but our team resonated with not just 1, but 2 of them.
We chose the Queer Advocacy Challenge with a focus on substance use.
Through our research, we discovered that queer students are 190% more likely to partake in substances than their cis-hetero peers.
So to do one without the other wouldn't just miss the point, it would miss the people. But who are the people? At the Met, 50% of students are queer identifying or questioning.
When surveyed, 94% of Met students agreed that at our school, students look out for each other. And 90% of students agreed that they would feel responsible to help if a friend was struggling.
And yet, only 14% of our students said they would tell someone if they felt sad or depressed. So clearly, our students want to look out for each other. But how can we support each other if no one is talking about their struggles?
That's what inspired our solution. The Spill the Tea initiative is a queer advocacy program focused on providing resources to create safe spaces for queer youth and allies. We aim to talk about issues concerning advocacy, identity, and substance use over a cup of tea. But what does that actually look like?
Safe spaces have always been a part of Met culture, but on the morning after the presidential election, safe spaces took a whole new priority.
What are we going to do?
Can I still get therapy?
Do I have to use my dead name?
Will my parents be deported? Will people use my correct pronouns?
Will I have access to gender-affirming care?
Are we safe?
We believe that conversations are the solution. Talking about hard things is exactly what students aren't doing.
We came up with the idea of conversation cards to aid to this, which led to
our creation of the resource kits that we made for the Solution Showcase. Each kit had our cards, a guidebook, and of course, tea.
The kits were distributed to 17 schools across the district, making sure more students had access to the resources they needed, no matter where they are.
But we knew we wanted to do more.
To create a safe space, we hosted our launch event called Nourish and Flourish.
We invited 14 of our community partners to our campus. 5 of them led workshops that mirrored what our continuing Spill the Tea events will look like in the future.
But why tell you when we can show you?
I had a lot of fun at the Spill the Tea event because I feel like I got to talk to people that I don't typically talk to, and the tea was a good conversation starter. It was nice to be able to talk to older queer folk because I feel like that's representation I don't typically see in the community. And it's nice to know that I actually have a future to grow up into.
It makes me feel more comfortable in the case that I'm with someone that has overdosed, and now I know exactly what to do in that situation.
The Spill the Tea event was a really, really great way to help us build community. I know I to a lot of people that I don't normally talk to or I haven't gotten the chance to talk to in a while, and we got to have a lot of really great conversations.
It was a great time, and I hope to do it again.
And it worked so well that we did it again, and again, and again.
Every time we put on an event, people show up and tell us how much it means to them. That is how we know it's working, because students feel seen and supported, and they want to come back for more.
We aim to focus more on sustainability to make a further impact within our community.
Every month, we want to bring in a new community partner who shares their know-how and resources, while our club runs a hands-on activity to make it fun and engaging. This could look like upcycling thrifted clothes to help students express who they are, to working with a therapist that led mindfulness exercises with the help of support animals.
We want to continue making an impact, and that means upgrading our resource kits to make them available to gender sexuality alliance clubs,
GSAs,
across the country. Also, we want to make our website more accessible to everyone. And we definitely need more stuff like stickers and pencils, because what's a movement without a little swag?
Our GSA is working on a book made by queer youth for queer youth. Created by one of our own Met students, Cameron, it's called Queer Joy. Inside, you'll find fully planned club activities with everything laid out, materials, timing, and the why behind the joy they create. But Queer Joy is also about the deeper stuff. Alongside the activities, students will share their own stories of courage, identity, and hope. This book is a reminder that no one is alone, and joy is a form of resistance.
The book we're creating will be a part of every resource kit, and these kits will be available to students everywhere. Designed for up to 20 students, each kit comes packed with everything you see here, including upgraded conversation cards and, of course, some tea. Our mission, to help students all over the country build their own safe spaces where they can chat, connect, and spill the tea together for free.
We're excited to introduce something new, 4 summits throughout the year. Every 3 months, we want to invite students from all over to an event similar to our Nourish and Flourish gathering. At these summits, student leaders will share what's worked in their communities, and community leaders will talk about opportunities for youth involvement. Together, we'll celebrate our wins, tackle challenges, take part in workshops and networking to grow and connect, and of course, drink tea.
And lastly, we want to create camps. For many LGBTQIA+ youth, traditional sleepaway camps can be stressful or even dangerous. I mean, unsafe.
The pressure to conform, the fear of judgment, and the lack of inclusive spaces makes it hard to relax and be yourself. Now we want to open that opportunity up to many who have never had an experience like this in the past. Because safe camp experiences shouldn't be rare, they should be the norm. Every queer young person deserves to feel that sense of belonging.
But we aren't going to be able to meet these goals without support from you.
Everything we want to accomplish, our monthly events,
the kits,
the book, the website,
the summits,
and the camps all cost money, and we need your help.
We believe you can help us make our vision real. Every donation, no matter the size, brings us closer to creating safe, affirming spaces that queer youth desperately need. These aren't just programs, they're lifelines.
We want to thank you for steeping kindness. We want to show our gratitude for steeping kindness into everything you do. Whether you're donating, showing up, or creating safe spaces, wherever you are, your support warms hearts, fills cups, and most importantly, helps make the world safer for queer youth.
And yes, your donation is tax deductible.
Thank you for listening, and remember, you are a priority.
Y'all give it up for the man. Aspen Challenge, EMK, Mu&ntilde, and Excel. Y'all give it up for all of the students. At the root of who I am a poet. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. I love words, and I wrote down a whole bunch of words. Words like representation, honor, courage, voice, engagement, privilege, power, light, love, amplify, access, seen, supported. And I scribbled the word hope. Thank y'all for that. Thank y'all for that. Do y'all feel a little bit hopeful that you've witnessed these young people? Give it up for them one more time. But the show ain't over. We got a little panel for you. Y'all please make some noise representing EMK. Jason, come to the stage. From Excel, we have Angelica, come to the stage. From San Diego Met, Cole, come to the stage. From Mu&ntilde, Chanel, come to the stage. And he just turned about 15 2 days ago. No, he's a coach. He's a coach. He is a coach. Y'all please make some noise for Justin from Excel. Okay, we're going to do like a little panel thing. Panelists, we want you to, I'm gonna ask you a few little questions, but keep your answers to kind of short. You hear me, Jason? I'm talking to you. Okay, question number one, this is for everybody. In one sentence, tell us what your Aspen Challenge project was and one word to describe the experience.
Well, I can speak on that first if you want. Well, our challenge, as you know, addressed two of the subjects. In one sentence, I'd say we're creating safe, affirming spaces for queer youth to explore their identity and relationship with substance use. And one word to describe my experience would be intense.
Okay, I could go. This is going to be difficult, though. One sentence, that's it?
Well, do your best.
Okay, all right, I'll try. Okay, all right. So I would say, in one sentence, I would say the Aspen Challenge focus empowering the youth through the acts of service in reducing gun violence in their communities and then also their school systems. And one word I would say is impactful.
I'll go next. My team created a panel for prevention, which is for students to face the idea of what gun violence is and how it impacts not only their life, but their community around them. And one word I would describe, it would be rewarding.
That's a good word.
I was working with the Excel High School group, Excel 3U, and if I had to use one sentence is the Excel 3U's mission is to be able to create safe spaces and a safe environment and a safe influence for all our youth and everyone around the world with a message that can be shared across the entire nation with just a click of a button, providing safer and more comfortable places for everyone.
Okay.
And then one word would be, I feel like emotional.
Jason, you got to do yours in French. We like that. No.
Well, one sentence to describe our challenge was, obviously we picked homelessness, but our solution to that was giving these kids a wellness of resources that they can use anytime they need. And one word was, I would say, overwhelming.
All right, this is a question just for the students, and one or two of y'all can answer. What was the biggest moment of growth for you during the Aspen Challenge? What pushed you to get there?
I can definitely go on that one. I feel like definitely I would say the biggest one was definitely when we were just sitting there listening to the challenges that were being given to us. Everyone at the table was so enthusiastic to pick a challenge. We couldn't choose between all of them until we sat there, and I am a songwriter. I sing and make my own originals. I actually created one for substance abuse, and I am hoping to spread the word. And the way that I used my talents and I had everyone's group of their talents, we created a music video that can be shared in public. And it's just, that was, just having the idea was the biggest part, and then making it possible was the next biggest step.
All right, I'll answer this one. A moment of growth for me, I think, was public speaking, especially with a team that is bilingual. Some of us have never speaking in front of a lot of people that we don't know before. And that was just a moment of growth, not only for me, but for my whole team. And what was the second question?
I don't know
That's
what
it?
the second. Oh, what pushed you to get there?
Okay. What pushed me to get there is probably my teammates' help. Like, without my team that we have, like I have, I don't think I would be able to do it.
The team is over there like, oh. Jason, you got one? You got a moment of growth?
A moment of growth, I would say, was taking like the initiative on the challenge. So obviously we're all working as a team, but we have to start thinking of where do we start, who do we talk to, how are we going to reach out to them, and why do they have to reply to us? So how is our email going to appeal to them so that they could help us? And a big help in this was definitely my team and my teacher. I would say they pushed me to, of course, step out my comfort zone and just keep emailing people who obviously by now are tired of me or tired of seeing my name.
All right, I'll go. Well, as you know, Reese and Milo are not here today, so we had to adjust our whole presentation. We had to adjust our roles in the team. Everyone in my team's well aware. So as this time approached, as we were coming to Aspen, I personally felt really nervous. I'm like, how's our team gonna get here together? And I heard a lot of my teammates, a lot of my teachers saying, Cole, you can do this. You can help lead our team to this place. And eventually I listened to them, but you're not gonna fully get there just by listening to them. So I eventually realized I can do this, and I told myself that and got here, so. Okay, I'd say I was the one who pushed myself here, so thank you.
He said, I can do this. Oh, you know what? I got a question for you, Senor, at the end. This is for a coach. What did your students teach you during this process?
Yes, two things. Learn how to step back and empathy. You know, I tend to shamelessly be a teacher who micromanages and tries to oversee every little thing and every little step that the students are doing, just to make sure that we're hitting the, you know, the benchmarks and the deadlines. But, you know, I allow them to, you know, express themselves, to be creative and be innovative, and learning how to step back and, you know, just enjoying the moment and watching them, you know, shine together and work together and collaborate. And empathy. You know, I think I lost that, you know, early in my years growing up. And, you know, it was kind of like a harsh upbringing in the sense that, you know, I had both of my parents, but, you know, they forced me and pushed me to be in spaces that were very uncomfortable or places that I felt like I was the only one there. So it helped me grow better, right? But I was very pessimistic because I felt like everybody perceived me in a certain light, in a certain way, and I wasn't allowed to, you know, kind of display who I am and who I was. So empathy came in, right? I saw them lead with empathy, and you know, I always tell them all the time, I feel like, yeah, I became a better teacher, but I feel like I became a better human being around them.
I want to piggyback on that a little bit. How did the Aspen Challenge shift your way of mentoring or teaching? You did say empathy, but can you elaborate a little bit more? Because I feel like you have a little more to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's a harsh world out here, and especially these times that are going on. I mean, there's a lot of issues that are, you know, being addressed and faced in front of us, and so, you know, you kind of lose yourself in your humanity a little bit. I feel like, you know, growing up in Boston, if anybody's from Boston, I mean, we have a weird way of saying good morning. I mean, I think, you know, we're kind of tough. We kind of stick to ourselves. And I think being a part of this process and watching the students, collaborate and grow amongst each other, and also grow amongst the community. Right, we're in South Boston, and historically, I'll have you guys do your research on South Boston. It was tough history for a lot of people of color being in those school systems. So to see them be out there in the community, to see them, embracing people that probably don't look like them or act like them, and so on and so forth, it brought real joy to me and a sense of understanding and purpose.
That's good. That's good. Thank you, Coach. This is for the students. What's one way you continued the work or seen your project lived on since the competition? Look at Angelica. I got this one.
So again, I personally am a songwriter. I started working with some people for my job, and I created a music video bringing awareness to substance abuse between teens. But this music video isn't blaming the substances. It isn't blaming the youth. It's not even putting blame on anyone. It's just trying to bring awareness to the fact that teens are honestly sometimes alone in this world. They may have parents, they may have friends, they may have family members, but do they really get to stand there and have them be around them, give them a hug, and have them be the reality? Like, am I really being cared for? Am I really being part of this family? And that music video brings awareness to it. But not just that, with our group, we are trying to obviously create more energy to it. We are hoping to start a red chair challenge on Instagram. I know you guys have seen the water ice bucket challenge. So instead of that, we're trying to do a red chair challenge where we place a chair in each high school or school, middle school, any school, where you guys can have your own red chair with students signing their names on it, representing people that, not even representing the people that have passed away, just representing your entire community, because we all work together to support the prevention of gun violence.
Thank you. You want to say something, Cole?
I want that video link to your music video. So
Aww.
our whole team probably would love to watch it.
I will try to put it on the YouTube channel. Actually, on your tables, you should have a little QR code saying Aspen Challenge Boston. So if you guys can scan the QR code, it'll take you to our Instagram, which is also linked to our website and our YouTube. I will try and put the substance abuse video on there as well.
All right, we're going to close with a group reflection. This is an answer or a question for everybody. We can go however y'all want to do it. If another student or mentor were starting the Aspen Challenge tomorrow, what advice would you give them?
I would like to start. Obviously, we've all been there. Of course, we still have school to attend, extracurriculars, and work. I would say get on top of your schoolwork before you start doing the Aspen Challenge, because you don't fall behind in school, and then you just overwork yourself, brainstorm a new idea, solve a solution. You just want to be on top of your game and make sure that you have enough time to focus on the Aspen Challenge, focus on school, focus on outside of school stuff, extracurriculars, work, and etc.
I'll go next. I would say to trust the process. There was times where I wanted to give up and didn't want to be in the meetings, or just didn't want to do it because of all the stress I had balancing school and also doing the project. But I would say just trust the process, trust your teammates, because at the end it's very rewarding.
I'd say to anyone starting the Aspen Challenge tomorrow, team build, team build, team build. I know everyone on my team. I know their favorite tea flavor. I know I can go to Alex to write an email. I also know she's Team Jacob. So I know quite a bit about my team. And honestly, the more you know each other, the more everyone's willing to share their ideas, say, I don't like that idea very much, and then talk about it for 20 minutes. But it's all how we get here today, so I'm grateful for that.
I would say mine is be open-minded and be respectful. I will say I'm very much a perfectionist on my end. I always wanted things to be perfect, on point, on time, and I always got overstressed. But being with this group, as much as I love them, we always sometimes didn't have everyone in the meetings, but I could even say for myself, I play sports, I have extracurriculars, but no matter that, just be open-minded. Even if you think your plan is a foolproof plan, let's say yours is going to go amazingly, still be able to open up to other people's advice and be open to listening to what others have to say, because you're not the only one. There's no I in team. There is always a group of you that make up a big, powerful team.
Close us out, Coach.
All right. So first and foremost, if there's any educators or mentors in the room, I say sign up for doing the Aspen Challenge. You know, it was definitely really meaningful, and I had a sense of purpose as being an educator working with these young people, and also at the same time being patient. Right. Our team looks a lot different than what it did in the beginning. Right, there might be some ups and downs. There might be some, again, extracurricular activities that other students are involved in, right? But you know, staying rooted in the why. Why are you doing it, right? And as long as you focus on that why, you know, great things could happen like this.
Excellent. Y'all give it up for the panelists.
Okay, everybody, I know that I'm the worst person you want to hear from right now after Natasha Carrizosa. Another round for Natty. We love Natty. And if you don't love Natty by now, there's something wrong with you. Okay, next, Aspen Challenge. We're going to Detroit and the state of Michigan. If you are from Michigan, if you know anybody in Michigan, if you want to participate in the Aspen Challenge, once again, if you don't, there's something wrong with you. Come talk to us. Come be with us. Come with us on this journey. There's a lot happening with the Aspen Institute, Center for Rising Generations, but we are coming to Michigan. We are coming to Detroit. So please come talk to us. Please be part of it. We have roles for mentors. So just because you're not a student or an educator does not mean you can't play with us. So please, please, please come along for the ride. Thank you for being here today. Have a good rest of the Ideas Festival.